Oh my gosh, other Miles, you're so much cooler than regular Miles. Oh, Pat, you are so cool for thinking that way. Do you wanna, maybe hold hands and kiss a little?
Ah, good. You're awake. Hmm? Pardon? Oh, honey, you must have been dreaming. I would never do something like that. Are you sure you're taking your meds today? Anyways, hey guys, it's Apollo, and this is my first drawing video in 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. And this time, it's a speed paint that I'll be playing in the background while I yap about some stories from my childhood that made me realize I was a part of the LGBTQ+ community. First and foremost, I am a bisexual trans man and have been out for 4 years now, and I officially came out about 3.5 years ago. Even as a little kid, before I personally realized I wasn't cis and straight, my mom, who is absolutely one of my biggest supporters, said she always knew. While other little girls were watching My Little Pony or playing with Barbies and American Girl dolls, I mostly wore shorts, t-shirts, and tennis shoes. While other girls would let their parents put them in dresses and dress shoes and curl their hair, I always threw a fit if I had to wear a dress. Hell, I even remember at numerous points of my life, I would deliberately wear a pissed off expression when taking family photos with my dad's side of the family, since they always forced me to wear a dress and I thought that there would be sufficient punishment for my dad and stepmom. Which it was. They always lost their shit on me afterwards, due to being embarrassed. They had to pay someone to take pretty pictures of me and my brothers, and I always looked ready upon somebody. So my punishments were definitely doing what I wanted them to. Thankfully, though, as I grew older, I finally got to spend more time with my mom and my older sister. Since, unfortunately, for a good chunk of my childhood, I wasn't seeing my mom that much due to how hard she was working at the ER every night, 7 days a week, to support me and my sister all by herself. And my mom always gave me more freedom to dress how I wanted, even if my older sister did make fun of me a bit, but that's okay. That's just siblings in general. My mom was always a lot more accepting and patient than my biological dad and stepmom, so if the worst thing that happened to me at the age was my sister making fun of my outfit, that was absolutely fair. Actions come with consequences, you know? And when me, my mom, and my older sister took family photos during fall, my mom always let me and my sister wear flannels and jeans and boots, just like her, or we'd have the option to wear dresses if we really wanted to. But she always gave us a choice, which, looking back at it now, I always remember how much happier I looked in those family photos compared to my biological dad's family photos. Because my mom always gave me a choice. She never forced me into frilly dresses and tight shoes or bright colors, or forced me to curl up and tie my hair. She let me be a kid, and I think that, especially now, I was beyond lucky to have a mom and older sister like that. As most kids who grew up to be queer, unfortunately, don't get that. The way I like to think about it is a quote that I heard a few months ago while watching a commentary video on YouTube, and the quote is, "Poverty doesn't make you a bad parent, but your priorities do." And my mom almost always put me and my sister first, no matter how much that would drain her. She'd screw up here and there, sure, but she was also a single mother who worked her ass off at the yard every night and morning, then came home to feed us breakfast, take my older sister to school, then come home and help me get ready for school, then took me there, came home and cleaned a little bit before taking maybe a quick hour or two nap, before getting dinner ready in the crock pot, before coming to our school to come get us. Then, my mom met the love of her life, my stepdad Harry. When I was around 11 and my sister was 16. Harry not only adored my mom and me and my sister, but he treated my mom right and probably would have given my mom and me and my sister the world if we simply asked. But he was also there with us and for us in almost every aspect. Mom needs to go to work at night? Harry would take us into bed and then switch his shifts at the yard to the morning, so that when Mom got home early in the morning, she could rest while Harry got us to school, and then he went to work in the yard right after. Mom didn't feel like cooking? Well, honestly, Harry wasn't the best cook, but he always did what he could and tried his best to learn so my mom could have a break, which is more than enough. I think my mom, my stepdad, and my older sister are absolutely my biggest supporters, in that definitely helped me come out and realize who I truly was. Or am, I guess. I cut all contact with my biological dad's side of the family a few years ago, but even though Harry passed a few years ago, as of 2025 when I'm recording this video, I still remember and look back fondly on those memories and how beyond privileged I was to have 3 family members who loved me unconditionally. I still remember when I first came out to my mom and Harry. I had come out to them as a lesbian and possibly being into fully consensual, polyamorous relationships. I don't remember things exactly, it was a really long time ago, but my mom does. She told me that I'd come home sobbing after school, and I told them that I thought I was a lesbian. Apparently my mom and Harry just blinked at me. No hate, no anger, no fear. My mom's only words at that point were, well, which is honestly hilarious, now that I think back to it. As, just like I said earlier, my mom always knew. And she was fine with that, and so was Harry. Years later, during near the end of the COVID pandemic, from what I remember, I went to the mall with my older sister and my mom as a girls' day out. We walked around for a bit with thick face masks on. Of course, we weren't stupid. But at the end, we went to a tiny salon to get pedicures. When my nails were almost done, my mom had asked me something. I can't really remember what we were specifically talking about, but I had to pull down my face mask for a split second just to repeat myself, since I tend to slow my words a lot. Once I put my mask back on, the lady doing my pedicure spoke up and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were a boy until I heard your voice and saw your earrings." It was obviously a lighthearted joke. But the moment she said that, I felt something click into place in my head. Although I wasn't sure why, all I knew was that I was extremely happy. Almost giddy with excitement, like very hyper, if you could say. I guess I could say that. Couldn't figure out why, I just was. My entire life, I'd thought I was just a tomboy, but a few months after the nail salon trip, I was in the hospital. My mom and my stepdad weren't there with me as they had to go home to work to, pay the bills, but they promised to call every day and every night. And one night when I was in the hospital, I answered their call and confessed to them that I thought I might be trans. They asked me if I thought I was a trans man or a trans woman. Forgive them, they didn't know much about the LGBTQ+ community at the time, but that wasn't their fault. And they were still extremely supportive of me. And I told them I was probably a trans man. They thanked me for telling them, and they told me that once I was back home, we could absolutely sit down and have a proper talk about it. When I finally got out, my stepdad surprised me with a bunch of really nice and well taken care of polos, button-ups, and belts. All of them from the men's section, and all of them were ones that he didn't fit him anymore. So, since I was coming out as a trans man, he thought it would be a great first step for me to dress more masculine. I think I cried that night, in his arms, sobbing like an idiot, because that was one of the nicest thing anybody had done for me, I think, ever up to that point. And I didn't even know how to repay him, or properly thank him. And I still don't. Even now, after years where I've been openly trans, and openly bisexual, and have had multiple romantic relationships with both men and women, I still don't think I could truly ever repay him, or my mom, or my sister for that matter. I really hope this video doesn't come off as me bragging or being cocky, because that's absolutely not my intentions. I'm just making this video to let other queer people know that there are people who care. You may not have found them yet, but they're out there, I promise. And although Pride Month is all about celebrating queer and trans people and how hard they've always fought to earn the right to celebrate and exist, Pride Month can also be incredibly painful for some, whether it be because they're still in the closet for their own good and safety and are afraid to come out, or those who are terrified for the future because of what's happening in the world and how many queer people are killed and hate crimed every day by bigots in red hats and just ignorant people in general. Just know that you are not alone. You aren't. And that giving up will just give the bigots the upper hand. You deserve to exist. You deserve to be happy. And you deserve to have the opportunity to live life to the fullest and with love and empathy and compassion and people who love you surrounding you. So don't give up, okay? Even if you have to find tiny, seemingly insignificant things to stay alive for. Whether you want to live for another week to listen to your favorite artist drop a new album, or You want to live and get out of bed every morning to help an elderly family member or even your pet. Or even if you just want to brag and say that you outlived most of the ugly, bigoted, and selfish older people in MAGA hats, or just you're living out of spite. Those are absolutely still valid reasons to live. No matter how minuscule or weird your reasons are to get out of bed every morning, those are still reasons. Personally, I'm getting out of bed every morning to one day be able to say that I outlived the arrogant, toupee-wearing, orange-skinned warthog who's currently running the United States. But, that's just me. Stay safe, guys. Keep your heads up, yeah? Can't have you dropping your crown.
Also, before the video like officially ends, I forgot to address in the script, but like halfway through the video, I was talking about, oh, you know, when I was little, what other girls would do, like Barbies and wear dresses and dress shoes, and I would wear t-shirts and sneakers. I did not mean to. That joke was not meant to like degrade or be mean to girls who did that as a kid, and if they do it now, that's fine. I'm sorry, that's bad on my part. I did not mean to like make fun of or degrade or like isolate girls who prefer to be feminine, because that's, you know, if you want to be feminine, that's okay. So sorry, I didn't mean to make it seem like I was like dissing or making fun of girls who are more feminine, because girls have a right to choose. I was just saying what I grew up with. So that's my bad. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, have a good day. Bye.